Hey, what's up, everybody? Kevin and Chris Davis here.
We are the Energy Brothers.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
And for some of you who have tuned into our first few episodes, welcome back.
Yep.
For those of you who are new, the point of this podcast...
We're hitting you with some knowledge.
Yes.
Is the point.
Yep, we're going to hit you...
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple. It's going to smack you right in the face.
Yep.
And what that knowledge is, it's on clean energy products and services.
And we're going to be extremely candid with what's going on, and there's a lot of information to absorb.
Correct.
So we're here to just
educate and
give you the stuff.
Take the information and do with it what you will.
Yeah.
But what we wanted to talk about in this episode is a term that not many people are familiar with, not many companies are using.
Because they can't use it.
Right.
Let's establish that.
Yeah, true.
They can't use it because they can't do everything.
Right, true.
So,
but what we're referring to is something that's called a clean energy ecosystem.
Right.
Ecosystem is the term.
which is what we believe that every single home or property in general, whether that's commercial or residential, needs to be working towards for the future.
Yes.
Like this is going to be the foundation of every property in the upcoming years.
Yep. In the United States.
So let's start having these conversations
Yep.
and start understanding what it is. 'Cause
Right.
It's going to be in your house soon. And
Right.
You're going to need it.
So what the ecosystem is, it's a few different products
Energy services or products.
that work cohesively together to make properties or homes or commercial properties more energy efficient
Or sustainable.
and sustainable.
Okay. And what those components are is solar,
Mhm.
a solar system,
Mm-hmm.
where you're now storing energy in a battery storage system, lithium battery,
Mm-hmm.
and you're controlling that harnessed energy with a smart panel,
Mm-hmm.
and you're able to mobilize yourself with an electric vehicle charger.
Correct.
So those are the four major components.
Yeah, the four major components. That's not like an all-encompassing. Those products aren't. They don't have to exclusively make up the ecosystem.
Right.
It could go beyond that. But
as technology advances, it will go beyond that.
Right. I mean, we could even throw in, maybe smart home tech,
Right.
as a maybe a fifth,
Which kind of
component.
goes hand in hand with the smart panel, just the smart tech
Yeah,
in general. So,
correct.
Being able to control your electrical appliances in the palm of your hand, essentially.
Correct.
That's what we're trying to get at there.
So there's definitely 4, maybe 5. You can make an argument for 5 right now, but as technology progresses, as it is rapidly doing, there could be more components to add later on. But that's kind of like what we think.
What we have to offer, at least at this
Right.
moment in time.
What we have, our company has to offer, as well as other companies who are like-minded like us that want to offer these services to their consumers or their customers.
Which not everyone can, but
Yeah. So to Chris's point earlier, and Chris has very few good ideas.
they're
but-
strong. Few but strong. Few but strong.
To Chris's point earlier, everyone at this point in their life, if in property ownership, should be working towards achieving the full ecosystem, whether it's chipping away at it and one product by one product by one product, or just biting the bullet and getting it all installed one shot.
And the way I explain it to you is like, if you're not working towards that, like, and it's available to you, like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you're so reliant on these utilities, and like you kind of owe it to yourself to just try to be sustainable for yourself
And independent, yeah.
independent,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're not progressing towards that, like you got to get with it a little bit, in my
Yeah.
opinion, because it is available to you,
Yeah.
honestly. And not only is it available, but there's certain behind some of these products, the governments are wanting you to do it, right? They're pushing you to do it with a lot of great incentives and savings programs.
Yeah. Now, out of fairness,
Yeah,
not everyone qualifies,
true.
right?
Yeah.
So and what I mean by that is, the ecosystem kind of starts with a solar system, right? Because the solar system produces the energy that you can then harness and then utilize.
You know the way I usually explain it to people, which is kind of a good analogy. It's like, think of it like you're the human body, kind of.
Okay.
Right? So there's
I can't wait where this is going.
It's good. Trust me, it's good. And people like it. When I tell them, they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Great analogy." Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
All right, let's hear it.
So what it is when the human body is trying to function, you obviously need food, for energy, right? So how you obviously how you produce that food and how you consume it is kind of the solar system, right? You're harnessing.
So the sun is the food.
Is the food,
right?
And you ingest the energy through
your solar system. Okay.
And then it goes down to your stomach, which is where it's stored, right?
Okay.
Which is the energy storage system, the batteries.
This is good,
right?
This is good stuff.
And then the stomach needs to process that food into usable energy for your body, right? And then it distributes that where it needs to go, right? Depending on
my arm, if I need to
like if you had a really heavy arms day or something, you need a little bit more energy to your biceps.
Those curls for the girls.
Exactly. So how you distribute that energy where you need it is the smart panel, where you can intelligently control that energy in the palm of your hand, where you're trying to be most efficient within your home. Okay. And then lastly, you got to get up and move once in a while. You got to mobilize. You got to get those legs moving.
Yeah.
You got to be productive in life. You got to start doing things.
You have to go to work.
You have to go to work.
Make dinner for the kids.
Right. So you need to power your legs, which is your EV charger, which allows you to get places and see your loved ones. Yeah. For God's sakes, get out there, people.
Well done.
So that's it. That's my analogy that I explained.
Okay. Right. So with Chris's amazing analogy, we can now fully conceptualize why an ecosystem is important for your property, right? And I think another main component that we need to touch on is like the ability to be autonomous is extremely valuable and attractive, right?
Yeah, independent.
Right. So if you can relieve yourself of being dependent on the grid, dependent on the utilities that are coming into your home. And it may not just stop at electric. It could be with technology progressing. It could be generating your own water source, and it could be
totally, which is what we want to work towards, and that's just the added components of this ecosystem. Right. It continues to build on itself and even extend beyond electricity. Right.
So the point of the matter is whether you're trying to install just a solar system now, that's just one step closer.
Right.
To becoming independent and making your property more sustainable.
There's an amazing sense of freedom to that.
Totally.
I think personally, I'm not a homeowner quite yet, but when I am, I would love to have that feeling of being like, I'm relying on nobody to survive. Right?
Yep.
There's a sense of freedom to that.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool in itself.
For sure.
Now,
and also like the greater good. Like
the
clean energy, making our world cleaner and our environment safer and cleaner too. So
totally. But what's important is like when we approach our projects, right? Like what makes us a little bit different than most who can't necessarily talk to people about this ecosystem, which makes us different, is that when we approach a project or if someone inquires with us about solar, for instance, that's not the only thing we tell them that you should be inquiring about. It's let's design a package for you where you can accomplish as many components of that ecosystem that we have to offer while still remaining in a cash positive savings position.
Sure. Depending on what's available at that time as far as state incentives
and stuff like that. Obviously, we have the know-how to put together those sort of packages. But even if, like, let's just say you're breaking even or you're saving a little bit off the start, it's worth getting as many of your hands on as many of those components as you can while these incentives are really hot and in place.
Right. True. Good point.
So that's kind of,
I
guess,
like everyone's situation is different. There's no cookie cutter answer to everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like we have to like look at everything at every customer and home as unique.
Yeah.
And
well, the needs are different too. Like the needs of different people.
Right. So
like some people might just be like, I'm just not interested in ever owning a electric vehicle, which is fine.
Right.
Which is great, but
but then come back to us in 10 years and let me know how you're doing.
There's no more gas cars
or gasoline stations.
Good
luck.
I mean, 10 years is pretty ambitious, but it's
true.
But people are making a heavy push for it. And,
Yeah.
But regardless, though, even if you don't have an EV in general, if you're not driving an electric vehicle, at some point you're going to get rid of that house, right? And the next person that wants it is going to have an electric vehicle.
Might have a family of 4 with 3 EVs.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to need those 2 EV chargers there for them to even consider your location.
Right. So So yeah, just to summarize here, I mean, ecosystems is going to be a term you're going to become more and more familiar with as people start learning more about these products and want to kind of make these products talk to each other and work cohesively. So it's important to understand it now and then start chipping away at getting
Right. So quit
products.
messing around.
Yeah.
Quit messing around and start showing your buddies when they come over. Yo, check this out. I'm controlling my panel. I shut this off. I shut that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of a show-off factor, in my opinion.
all right, guys. Again, Chris and Kevin Davis, the Energy Brothers. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe.
More energy content you coming your way. Candid conversations like this on EV charging, battery storage, solar, just general electrical stuff too. You know, there's a lot to be learned about that as well. So
Sure.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Take care.